lovely people. Hi, Shell. Hi, Daniela. It's
Hi.
10 in the morning, Saturday morning. Lovely start into the day with my cup of coffee. Shell,
And
hi.
me, well, I mean, I could be date night, really. It's Saturday night here, it's 8 o'clock, but I'm with you through you two. So, you know.
That's better than dating because we are having a wonderful guest today. It's Daniela Cabete. Hi, Daniela, calling in from Luxembourg as well.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. I see the weather is not better at yours than at mine.
No, a bit cloudy today.
But
Let's hope we won't get rain. We'll see. Keep fingers crossed.
midst of July, I think in your native country, Portugal, the weather is better at the moment. No.
I think it's a little better, but it's not been the summer that people are used to.
Okay.
So,
Yeah. Well, let's stay here in our little dry room then today. Daniela, you're a psychologist, sexologist. We are going to hear a little bit about your life, about your journey, actual journey, where you're on. So we're really, really interested to hear your story. And I would love you to introduce yourself if you want.
well, thank you for having me. I think I will start with how I was born, where I was born, and where I come from. My parents moved to Luxembourg in 1979, and I was born 2 years later. So I'm actually Portuguese, born in Luxembourg. I went here to school, then I went to university in France. And then 2011, I started working as a psychologist with perpetrators of domestic violence. So it's quite a particular job because I don't work with the victims, I work with the perpetrators. And it's a job where I learn something about myself every day. So then I also studied sexology because I felt that when we have clients who were sexually violent, I didn't have the tools to work with them. So I added that to my qualifications. And then the richness I have is the 6 languages I speak. So it's a great tool. It's a great tool at my job to work with a lot of different people. So culturally, I'm in touch with a lot of different people, and I learn something from everyone who comes.
That's amazing to look at the perspective like you do, to learn also something about out of your job you do. Can you describe this a little bit further? How do you transform in that job?
The thing is, you become violent because you are not aware of your feelings. So you try to avoid them, and we all have behaviors of avoidance. People grab to food, others to alcohol, others to drugs, others to sports, others to their job, and other people hide their feelings behind violence. So the fact that I help people get in touch with their pain, with what they feel, it helps them heal in their healing process. And if I want to do my job properly, I have to be like a mirror for them. So when people are in front of me and they are talking, I'm going to feel in my body what the actual feeling is. I mean, we all know this. If a friend or a partner or children are sad, they don't need to tell us that they are feeling sad because we're going to feel it. So it's really a job of awareness, by being aware of what I feel during the appointments. I help the clients to also get aware of what they feel, because as a reflection, I'm going, for example, to say, oh, I feel sadness, and then they're going to start thinking or going inside of themselves, and I ask them, what do you feel in your body? Where do you feel it? So it's healing for them and for me as well, because every time I get in touch with myself when I'm working with my clients.
Yeah.
And Daniela, in the context of what you're doing, do you call that a somatic process as such? Or is there a different terminology that's used for doing that reflective experience of feelings as such?
It's we how shall I say this? When I feel something in me as a reflection, it is not my own feeling. It's the client's feeling. Sometimes it is difficult because if I'm going through something in my own life, or if the client brings up a subject that affects me at that moment, I really have to pay attention and to know, does this belong to me? Is this my feeling, or is this my client's feeling? Because we have what we call mirror neurons. So that's actually, everybody has that, and that's what helps me as well in my job. But the difficult part is really to to notice, does this belong to me, or does this belong to my client? And then a lot of my job goes happens in the communication. So what are the words that I use? How do I speak about myself? How does my client speak about himself? People tend to use the you instead of the I. I feel sad. No, you say you made me feel sad, or you make me angry. No, it's about what I feel.
Yeah, that's beautifully explained. Thank you.
You're
Yeah,
welcome.
that's amazing. I mean, mm, mm, that must be also a work for you to do to clear up your space, to be with yourself, to be able to observe those emotions and those feelings coming up. That's, I mean, that's a part of the journey as well, to discover yourself, to be able to feel the other side.
Absolutely. It's really if you want to do a great job as a psychologist, you have to work on yourself, and you have to heal parts of you, and you have to be very aware of what is going on in your life. And I have an amazing team. We talk a lot. So when there is something that is happening in our lives, like my mom has cancer, and the last couple of months, I've had several clients who were struggling with their partners having cancer. And I really noticed, okay, Daniela, you have to pay attention here, because what is the part that belongs to you, and what is the part that belongs to your client? So I have to be aware of myself, and I have to work on my um, um, on my feelings. I have to heal those parts of me. I have to face my fears. Yeah, I have to feel what I have inside of me in order to heal, because otherwise my own feelings will impact the work I do with my clients. So it is a full-time job, actually. It doesn't just happen at my job. What I do, I have to, on my side, do the work as well.
And thank you for sharing that too about your mum. And being able to even explain what you just did was gives such a greater understanding of what's involved in the breadth of the role of what you do. And just on that, have you got a little bit more that you would like to share with us about some healing that you've done that's, helped you on your journey in looking after yourself for where you are?
Of course, I think the human being has the potential to heal, but unfortunately, he has to suffer first. I know this sounds horrible, but it's the truth. If you don't hit rock bottom, you usually don't do the effort. And I have a particular story. I was born in a house that was grieving. My uncle died 2 years ago before I was born, and my aunt was alone with her kids, and they were still grieving. And when I was born, I was like the sunshine in that house, but how much sadness I had to deal with, I consciously don't know, but unconsciously, of course, I still carry part of it. And you don't become a psychologist, as I said, just like that. So my life went going on, and then 2015, things just started to get real crazy. No, actually, it started October 2014. My dog died. June 2015, my mom got diagnosed with cancer. November 2015, my only grandma died. In January 2016, my other dog died. So that was the moment where I already thought, okay, I need some help. I cannot do this by myself. I feel this pain. I don't know how to deal with it. And then I started an energetic work on myself, a quantum medicine, and that helped a lot. And then I think it was beginning of 2018. I thought, okay, this is helping me, but it's not enough. I need to put things into words. So I started counseling. And then July 2018, my mom got diagnosed with cancer again. And 2 days before operation, I met my twin flame, and then things just went crazy. November 2019, we separated, so I fell in a dark night of the soul that was just the pain I felt was excruciating. I just felt like dead inside, and I thought, okay, I have to find something more to my healing process. And then that's when I really started developing my spirituality. I always said things like everything happens for a reason, basic stuff, but not really vibrating what I was saying. And then I said, okay, things do happen for a reason. You have to go and dig deeper. And then COVID hit, crazy time, And then September 2020, my mom got diagnosed with cancer again. And it's been going on and off and on and off and on and off. And then it's a lot. August 2021, during my summer holidays, an uncle died. August 2022, again during the holidays, the son of a cousin died in a car accident. August last year, another uncle died. All that in my summer holidays. And this year in January, my godfather died. And in February, another aunt of me died. So the universe has really been making me face a lot of loss. And it is moving me in the direction of healing. I don't see it as a punishment. People used to see it as being punished. Why is this happening to me? I don't think I'm a victim. I think this is my path, and this is teaching me something. But if I want to heal, I have to face and feel the pain. And that's the job you have to do. And last week I was in Portugal. I did a detox, a food detox, but particularly a spiritual detox. And it was an incredible experience where I understood even more things about myself. And I am now even more convinced that we are really like onions. You peel one layer and then comes the next and the next and the next and the next. But it is so liberating, to feel the pain and to face it and to let it go. And if people just understood that, I know how much it hurts, and I know how scary it is, but it really is freeing.
Yeah, those are so tough words that you are saying right now, so strong messages in there, because I'm totally agreeing with the fact that you can't feel things around when you don't feel yourself. And that work we have to do, offered by the universe, and be able as well to ask the question, why is that here? Why is that happening to me? What does that do to me and my body as well? To distinguish all those feelings, which made it a lot more easier to understand as well that everything comes in with a message, with something you have to do to grow.
Mhm. And
Because,
you
yeah,
and you have to face it.
exactly.
If you want to grow, there's no way around. And you are never alone. I mean, people talk about God, other call it the source. I talk about the universe, but everything is the same. And the thing is, if you start trusting, and if you start seeing the signs, the synchronicities, it's amazing. It's like a box opens, and you get signs all the time.
Yeah,
Mm.
exactly. But as you said, like peel layer after layer after layer, and also get out of the distraction outside, which is really, really scary at some moments. Moving through all this stuff and staying with yourself, I believe it's the most important thing. And yeah, facing that fear, because that fear as well doesn't come from these times now, these last years, but it's much, much deeper, and it goes way back.
The things we carry from our ancestors are incredible. We have absolutely no clue. I mean, I understood last week how much culpability I carry that doesn't belong to me. How much guilt, you know. Um, and we did, I think we say it in like this in English, family constellations.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did two that were for me, but I participated also in two. And there was one of the women that were there also doing a detox with me. The day before, she said that she couldn't remember crying. And during her constellation, she has panic issues. And during the constellation, the most incredible thing happened that I ever witnessed in my life, because she understood the issue, and she just completely let go of the control, and she completely crashed, and she I mean, I still get goosebumps when I think about it. She let go everything, and she started crying, but I mean, it came from deep, deep down inside of her. And I just thought, oh my God, it's that easy. I mean, it's not easy, but we have amazing tools if we are willing to let go of control, because you were talking about the distractions from outside and everything. And it's a lot about control. I mean, the fact that they try to control us is one part, but how much do we control? We try to control as well. Come on, let's just look at the outside. Let's not go deep inside of us, because this I can control. But what is inside of me, that's what's difficult. You can try to hold things, but inside of you, you cannot control them. You can try to control how you behave, but there's a moment where you just can't. You cannot anymore.
Yeah, really, that's really true words. And just reflecting back to, what you were sharing about with your journey and this, continual little, not little at all, actually, continual experiences of loss and the relationship back to, when you were really little and how you were born into a house where loss was and grief was a huge part of it. And that must form a wonderful part of what you're able to do with your work, with the domestic violence side of things in terms of connecting and relating. Particularly, I gather, to men. There'll be some women as well, of course, that are having the going through it as the perpetrator, and how you can actually potentially build a greater rapport, and understanding, and connect to the experience.
Absolutely. It's the whole team. I mean, we are six people at the moment. We are very much aware that all of us are perpetrators. Everybody has already screened to the least, and that's violence, you know. So the fact that you can, in a way, identify with that reaction, and we don't excuse the violence. I mean, there's no excuse for violence, but we are able to understand that that person went as far as to use violence to stop a conflict. And that's the conscious part of it. But then there's the unconscious part of it. And I'm going back to the ancestors. Apparently, there was violence in my family history. It's not, I didn't end up here just by chance, you know? And also there, I think I am healing part of my lineage, you know, part of things that happened back then. And my brother always says that I work, how does he say it again? Like I'm in touch with the devil every day. You know,
Okay.
because I mean, violence is not the most beautiful thing on earth, but I know that there's a mission of life that I am accomplishing. I'm very, very aware of that. And what is so beautiful is that I've been working with adults for 13 years now, and soon I'm going to start working with adolescents and children. So that was always what I wanted to do, because I think that if we start soon, there is a lot of misery that you don't have once you are an adult. So I'm going to work in a more preventive way, because I think that if we heal early on, we can. How shall I say this? This sounds maybe a little dreamy, but we can heal the world in a way, you know, if we heal ourselves. And that's what's amazing. When you start healing, people around you, they start that process as well. It's just amazing, you know, and you have really to experience it. I've been experiencing it. It's incredible. Since my journey, my conscious journey started, people around me at work, in my family, they have started their healing process as well. So it's important for us to heal, because if we heal, people around us heal as well.
Oh, that's it's amazing, beautiful words. I love it. And I loved how you talked about you're in a team. So there's about 6 of you. Do you have a team kind of wellness strategy, or something where you are inspired to do things to look after each other, yourselves? Do they give you an allowance of time to go for a walk in the forest or something like that?
The strategy, and this is going to sound very dreamy too, but is very easy. It's simple. It's love. You know, we love each other. We are very. I mean, I have an amazing team, and we are always aware of how the other one is feeling. We always take time. If there is anything, we take the time to talk about it, and then we have our Christmas party where we just let it all out, and where we just party and have fun together, but it's really, we are an exception and we are very aware of that. But it's really a daily matter for us to take care of each other, you know, because we are very aware that the job that we do is not a common job, and the people we work with and the things that we hear are not always very pleasant. So it's really an everyday thing for us to care for each other and be there for each other. We are very lucky. We are really, really aware of it, because you don't hear that a lot in this world.
Unfortunately not.
Yeah.
And
That's
in
amazing.
your own personal time, are there certain things that are a given for you to keep yourself where you want to be, you know, the most grounded perhaps, or any like routines that are important for you to follow to look after you?
Alone time. I need a lot of alone time because I am hypersensitive. I absorb a lot. So I really need time for myself. And I read or I go for a walk, but I really need to, to take time for me, because otherwise I feel it when I don't have that time. I just lose myself, you know, or when I have a lot going on, I lose myself and I can't feel myself anymore. And it's also an everyday matter, you know, like, for example, for me, well, I work 4 days a week, and I have 3 days, a weekend of 3 days. And I shouldn't have more than 2 extra activities during the week, because otherwise it's too much for me. Other people, they do stuff every day, but I think they're avoiding a lot too. But for myself, I think, okay, sometimes when I have 3 things or more, I know, okay, next week I need to have nothing. And sometimes for friends, it's difficult to understand because they don't feel like I do, but I know what I need, and that's a very important matter, particularly any job you do, but with the job I do, even more.
Yeah, I relate to
completely
that with
agree.
working with people's health one-on-one as well, that they're like, even though I'm a very gregarious individual and I love my social, but nothing beats that compression, you know, decompression of having aloneness for me. So yeah.
I mean, it's like scientifically proven that the brain only regenerates during stillness, during silence. So it's really important as well to get as much as possible rid of the distraction from outside, which is pretty huge at the moment.
And then another thing that I've found myself as important this last year are body massages, because when when we are overwhelmed, we lose touch with our body. So sometimes getting a massage that brings me back to myself. Other people like to go swimming, for example. I mean, everybody has to find a way to get back to himself. But I know that I'm losing myself when I start eating junk food. Well, things that I shouldn't eat, let's say it like that.
We know that
So,
one.
yeah. Everybody, yes, because that's avoiding, you know, it's avoiding. So what I do is I eat peanuts, cheese, whatever. And that's what happened this last year, because it was just too much for me to handle. There was a lot going on. My mother's health was worse, and then more people dying, and I lost myself again, and I thought, okay, I have to get back to myself. And that's when I decided to do that detox that went way further from my imagination. The things that I discovered, or maybe not really discovered. Oh, yes, still, because I thought that the major problem was being born in a grieving house, but I understood that the major problem was another one. So it was also death related, but I wasn't born yet. It was actually the death of my grandpa, my mother's father. That actually seems to be the major thing that happened that impacted me. So imagine I wasn't born yet, but I carry something big from there. And then sometimes the loyalty you have for people that you didn't meet, like I never met him, and you are not aware of what you're actually doing, because we think life is just what is happening here, but life is so much bigger. We are so much more than just us and our parents. There are a lot of ancestors that are looking at us and they're thinking, okay, what are you doing? How are you handling this mess? Please do something to free us. And I really believe in that, you know, that we have the power today to free some of the traumas that happened in our family. And I think I'm doing that with my job.
That's beautifully described. Um, I also liked that you mentioned before the guilt question as well, from things we are carrying around. So it's also a beautiful way to help people to come into their strength as well.
It's funny, you know, the things that you do without being aware of what you're doing. In my job, I never talk about guilt because I say guilt is something heavy. I always talk about responsibility. And responsibility is that strength that you are mentioning. So again, it's funny how spontaneously I said, when people say I feel guilty, I say no, you should feel responsible, because if you take responsibility, you are aware of the power that you have, of the fact that you can choose. So I do that in my job, but sometimes I forget to do that with with myself, of course. But guilt is like a prison. If you feel guilty, you cannot do anything. You cannot change, you cannot act, you cannot improve your life, because it's like a heavy burden, something that you're carrying on your shoulders. And we really have to get rid of guilt, because it blocks you, actually. So when you say, Michelle, that, yeah, get out of guilt and go into your strength, into your power, that's absolutely it. You know, it's about being your authentic self, you know, without feeling guilty. And of course, some people are not going to like it. And maybe you are going to be the family crasher, you know, the one who behaves differently. Yeah, the black sheep. But I'm proud to be the black sheep. I think it's it's great to be the black sheep, but it's difficult, you know, because I've been the black sheep, but feeling guilty. And now it's all about being, I don't think we are the black sheep. We are I don't know, the golden sheep. Let's say it like that, because black is so negative. But it's about having the courage to be yourself, you know.
Having the courage to be crazy as well.
Oh,
The
yes,
crazy
please.
sheep. It's not the black sheep, it's the crazy sheep. And
Yeah.
I like crazy. It's also very, very wonderful that you mentioned that are going to work with children as well, and younger people. So I believe if we are able to teach children how to deal with their feelings and their emotions, that would change everything.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We should,
I'm a little bit worried about the last generation, though, with all the square devices and all the things that we have fed with. So, but I'm really trusting the future generation to shift this thing.
It's a sad thing to say, but not we, but we sacrifice the generation. There is a lost generation, that's a fact. But I really feel that the next one will be different, because I feel an awareness, and also the children that have been born those last 10, 12 years, they're very, very special souls. And things, I really feel that the system is completely crashing down. And the moment has come for us to create a new system. And um, we need people that are more aware of themselves, that are more authentic. And the fact that you teach children about feelings, I mean, feelings is a tool that we all have, and it's something that we all experience during the day, but people don't know how to express their feelings. Sometimes they don't even know, how do I feel the sadness, where in my body. And if you get aware of that, that is going to improve relationships. So I mean, the world is not going to change in 10 years or 20, but I really think that we are becoming more conscious of what really matters. Well, at least let me hope so. We still have to hit rock bottom, with that artificial intelligence and everything. And that's really scary. It really scares me.
Me too.
But I think we have to go. It's like you have to feel the pain to heal. And here it's the same thing. We have to hit rock bottom. People need to experience that artificial intelligence is not the solution, and that it's very dangerous. So let's just hold on and hope for this to be over very quickly. I don't know what you think about that.
I completely agree. And we also have invited Ricardo Lepe, who is going to talk about school systems and educational systems as well, to change a few things there. And he has amazing tools with his learning techniques. So yeah, we should care more about children. That's true. And become really, really aware, as you said, of that artificial intelligence, because I believe at the moment there are people who cannot make any difference anymore of a real video or photograph or anything, picture, because you are not using your own brain and intuition anymore. And if those things get lost, the system, I mean, the body system says at a point, we don't need those things anymore.
Yes, the more we are connected with technology, the less we are connected with ourselves.
Yeah.
And people don't, when you talk about intuition, sometimes people open their eyes big and like, what are you talking about? And then I say the belly feeling, when your belly tells you something. And yes, I think that's part of the big learning that people have to do, is to listen to their belly again, to their intuition again, because it is life-saving. I've had already experiences in my life. I had one where where I was a kid, where my father had the choice between two different ways to drive home. And he had the choice between A and B, and he chose B. And at the moment he chose B, there was an accident that happened on the other one, and I will never forget that. Yeah. It was like, oh my God, had he chosen A, maybe we wouldn't be there anymore. And I think there are a lot of situations like that, probably that we have all experienced already, where in the end we think, okay, good, I didn't choose that way.
I think it's really helpful to think back on what experience you had on that point, and to take notes to really see how your intuition works, and to try. You can train this a lot more. But as you say, like, we are too much distracted from the outside. I mean, a lot of people are distracted from the outside to not even be able to listen to that belly feeling, which is usually right. And it's also powerful if this tool works, because that's also a protection to not get pulled into manipulation from outside.
Absolutely, that helped me a lot during COVID. But it really is tough to have the courage to listen to your intuition when everything around you tells you the opposite of what you are feeling. So
Yes.
but it is something that you can learn and that you can train. And our intuition is always right. I had I just thought about it in October. I went to Portugal, and I was at the airport. I was going to get inside of the plane, and I didn't feel that plane. There was something. I was like, my intuition told me here's something wrong with this. And then we took off, and the plane didn't. He stopped. 10 minutes after taking off, he stabilized. And I thought, this is not normal. Usually it goes for 20 minutes. And he started turning around and turning around and turning around. And then the pilot talked, and he said, listen, we have a little technical problem. We have to go back to Luxembourg. And I thought, I was like relieved, because I felt that there was a problem, and it was confirmed that indeed the plane had a little problem, and we had to go back. So my intuition when I climbed inside of that plane was this: there is something wrong with this. I couldn't handle the situation. I couldn't do anything about it, but I thought, yeah, my intuition told me that there was a problem with this plane. So we went back and we took another plane. So again, my intuition told me there's something wrong with this.
And it's great that over time we get that experience to trust it more and more every time, and to be able to share that with others and what we do as well. And just when you were talking too about relating the belly feeling to who you were, working with, I was thinking about how in your role with what you do, there's so many elements that you have to work with, and connecting and relating. It could be the wording, like you say, taking someone from a place of guilt into responsibility, and just the changing of words and the different energetic impact that has, and the feelings. There's just so many little wonderful elements to what you do, and how fortunate we are that you and your team and others in the world are doing work of this nature, to make a change, to make a difference. And that is your gift, and the service that you're bringing to the world, which is just amazing.
Thank you so much, and you are so right when you do all those connections, because so we only see the perpetrators, so we never see the victim or the children. And there have been situations where we reported cases without ever seeing the victim, but we reported because, according to what the client was telling us and our intuition, we thought that we had to. There was a mother. Well, the stepfather was my client, and the mother was violent against her son, but like really bad. So I had never seen the that woman nor her kids. But in my belly, I said, I have to report this. And I did. And in the end, that mother became a client also. So they took the report seriously, even though I had never seen the kid. But they think, okay, if they do reports like that, because we have done that a couple of times already, because we have to protect the children. That's our first mission. Children need protection. So yes, we have to listen to our intuition and do all those connections also in our job. Because if we don't, well, we are not responsible if anything happens, but if we have a little doubt, we have to do something about it.
Yeah. It's not only about the job, but everybody can do it. Everybody can train the intuition. And it's, as you said before, crazy times. It's about finding strength. It's not about punishing, about repressing, but it's about getting free actually from all the belief systems, all the guilt and all the traumas around, to be yourself and to find your strength and your voice, which is important as well, to speak up. And thank you, Daniela, for today, for those wonderful inspirations you shared with us today. I hope it will reach many people.
Thank you so much for having me.
Wishing you all the best on your way, and let us know later on as well how it goes with the kiddies.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Daniela. It was amazing. Lovely to see you again.
Thank you, Shell.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.